it's a bad sign when you're completely exhausted before you even start the day. But anyway, what bow speaks to you that you have seen in a movie or a TV show? I mean, seriously, think about it. We all have watched stuff like Attila the Hun or other shows where they have Hunger Games, stuff like that. Bow movies, Robin Hood. Some of those are funny, especially the older ones. Or the movies where they have bows that are badly tailored and just stupid looking. But what bow speaks to you that you've seen? In my case, it's The Hills Have Eyes. One, I believe, or two maybe. It was early in the franchise. Where the mutant hillbillies had bows that kind of looked like this. They were so rough and their arrows were fletched with like rotten crow feathers and stuff. But I like those bows. Now, I fully admit that I've made some pretty fine looking bows. But sometimes I take a step back and I look at what bows mean to me. And even though I appreciate these precisely made beautiful bows, sometimes, you like the rough looking ones, the ones that were just made outside, where the people didn't have the benefits of a wood shop, they didn't have the benefits of a double boiler. And other such affairs, they were hunter gatherers, they were on the move, they were migratory, they did what they had to do. It also harkens into this whole idea of self reliance, strength, and every member of the community is useful. Yeah, right? Maybe back then. But I appreciate this thing because it has what would be considered a rough sinew job. I didn't go to the extra trouble to make sure that all my little fibers were uniform like I normally do. And the other side of that is I had so little waste, because I didn't over prepare them. And I didn't wrap it. I had no intentions of making this a smooth finish. I wanted to see a sinew finish, a la Hills Have Eyes. I'm looking at this thing, and first of all, I'll say it over and over again. If you're going to sinew back, try the cold brew method. It's not mine. I didn't invent it. I just feel I rediscovered it. And it really reinforced it yesterday when I did. I put the second layer on here. I'm thinking that I'm going to place myself in the mind of the people that would have made something like this. They've got this group of fibers sitting in that liquid that doesn't gel at room temperature. You don't have refrigeration. If you don't use it, it's going to rot. So use it. Use what you have. And so I did. One fiber at a time. Not taking 4 or 5 or whatever like we use generally. You got all your bundles. They're bundles. They're not single fibers. They're bundles laid out on the table. Like in my book, I've got that picture of it. Double boiler, blah, blah, blah. Just single. And you know what I rediscovered? It's faster. It's faster than putting multiple on at a time because, first of all, you're not taking the time to group them into little bundles. You're not taking the time to set up your double boiler. I mean, that's important. You're not taking the time to grab 4 or 5 fibers and then straighten them out and get the kinks out and all this stuff. You just grab one. They slide right out. Even though it was a total rat's nest near the end, they're slippery. They just slide right out. You lay them on, grab another one, lay it on, grab another one, lay it on. It was fast. It was fast to put a second layer on this. Faster than having multiple bundles. It's counterintuitive, but it's true. The other thing that I was thinking as I was doing it outside on a picnic table. Got my soupy mixture there, the tendons. Did it outside. I could have done it at the beach. I could have done it in the woods. I could have done it on a mountaintop. Just like the people back then did it. But those fibers, because they soaked like over a day in that stuff, they were just like if you took a tendon out of a deer and separated it. That's hard because it's slippery, trust me. It was more animal-like. Hopefully you get what I mean. I'm sure you do. It was more animal-like to put those things on at a time. I want to do, in my next bow, I want to do the woodwork with my knife. That's it, just my knife. I want to do a shorter bow. Shorter bows take less material. Shorter bows work. Shorter bows are more compact, they're more portable. A gull wing, I like that from an engineering standpoint and an aesthetic standpoint, and do the same thing here, except one difference. I want to use blood instead of coffee. It shouldn't bother anybody because we're in a gory business. These things are for hunting or target shooting, but you know, it has the same lineage as the hunting bow, the useful bow. I'm a strong, independent. I was gonna say, yeah, stunning and brave or whatever it is. Person. I know how to do things. I can start a fire with a hand drill. I can build my own shelter. I know how to snare. I know how to gather plants. I know how to make bows. Not so hot on making stone points. I can make one that's usable, but it's ugly. Get my drift. These things are important. This thing is like a, a ceremonial object, a religious item, you know, a talisman, whatever you want to call it. These things represent something. And when you go simple like that, you go crude like that, crude is not a derogatory term, they have more power. You know, I get that. Assuming you do too. It goes into everything. We, as primitive bow people, members of the Primitive Bow Society, we get that. We understand connections. We understand cause and effects, unlike many modern people that I'm going to do this, doesn't work out, so I'm going to keep doing it. Don't look at the results. I don't like the results, so just don't look at them. You know, it doesn't work that way when you go primitive. And again, primitive is not a derogatory term. It's our essence. You know, our reality, which is reality. Anyway, that is all I'm going to say. I have a little bit of time. I'm going to be short-staffed today, and it should be a busy day. Woohoo! 115 days in with no full days off and 118 more to go. Not that I'm counting. But you know what keeps me going is that I've got this thing in my mind. You cannot break me. We need more of that. We need more of that mindset. I'm not going to ask you for free food. I'm not going to ask you for a free house. I'm not going to ask you for free anything. I don't need to because I got this mindset. You cannot break me. Have a good one. Thank you for watching.